You might have seen a few of our competitors out already with the brand new 2025 Morgan and Peace program. The Uncirculateds are the first. They're on the table, being released in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're waiting a little bit longer before we launch ours, but you know our prices are going to be great, so stay tuned. But before we get there, every once in a while you bump into a deal on vintage 1800s dated Morgans that are just way too good to pass up on. Rarity, quality, and tonight the third is price. Let's have some fun with these two. At a most recent show, one of the larger shows on the East Coast, a good friend of mine walked up and said, hey, this deal just passed through, and it had a good number of Morgan dollars in it, but very, very little in reference to depth. And by that I mean there was 3 of this, 6 of this, 5 of this, all great coins, things we buy on a regular basis. He says, but on this one, I got 5 rolls, beautiful uncirculated rolls of 2 dates. Maybe you can do something with it. So this particular deal is that deal. You had 100 coins each. The price for the deal gave us the ability tonight to be at the lowest price we've been at in 2025 for a pre-1900 dated Morgan dollar. Now, you might have seen a couple of specials over the last month or two on 1921, the last Morgan at this crazy price of $49.95, but we have been at $59.69 or more based upon where the market conditions are. So tonight, it's all about price, 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 backed up by the standard quality. But even then, when you get further into it, it just becomes even more fun. So let's talk about the Morgan dollar. It was introduced in 1878. It's named the Morgan dollar because it's named after the designer, which is George T. Morgan. The coin lasted for 27 consecutive years until 1904. It was the child of the largest silver find ever. That was in Virginia City, Nevada. That was called the Comstock Lode. You might have heard of that before. The Comstock Lode gave the United States now its position to make silver coins and the big silver dollar it really never had. So we have 27 years of bliss, big silver dollars being struck. Philadelphia, East Coast, San Francisco, West Coast. They bring back New Orleans, and then Carson City striking for a couple of years as well, which is just trying to fill the middle of the country with coins. That's where all the people were gravitating towards, right? Let's move west. What a phenomenal thing, right? But it ended up creating the #1 vintage coin in the history of the U.S. They've been making coins since 1793, the large cent and the half cent, through today, 2025. Collector coins, coins for circulation, all the fun stuff. And the #1 category, still above the Silver Eagle, which the world loves, I love. You might be the same. It's the vintage Morgan dollar, the coin, the cartwheel, many people call it, of the Wild West. It was the big silver dollar that came from the Wild West and was used during those times. So its story is unparalleled. It's also the largest silver coin ever struck by the U.S. Mint for circulation. The peace dollar followed this. They pulled silver dollars in 35, and that was the end of the chapter. The Eisenhowers that we saw in the 70s were copper clad in circulation. Same size, but they were copper clad. Turn these sideways. These are 90% silver, U.S. coin silver. So this deal is 2 specific dates, 1886 and 1889. And the reason it's those 2 dates is that's the quantity in that deal. The price point? Yeah. My competition has both of these. They're over 140 on the 1886, and they're over 130 on the 1889. We're under 50, and it's your choice. So if you want 3 of this one and 2 of this one because you want 5, or you already have the 86, join us with the 89. Get more at these crazy prices. But one step further, silver's up what, give or take 20% this year? Look at January, look at today, and it's moving. Gold has been above that 3,000 level, hanging out at 3,300 pretty much the entire year. So we're seeing a precious metal spike and hold. The Silver Eagles, as a result of that, why I brought that up, are now what? $59, $69, $79 to find them. And most of my competitors have raised their prices because of that. On the other side, we can go back 140 years and get the silver dollar of the realm, 27 grams net weight, and we're at $49.95 for uncirculated coins. That's to scratch your head, and then you're going to have a follically challenged look like I have. Sometimes it's just right place, right time. Thank you for being with us here tonight, because that is what this is creating. Just a great opportunity. But the other part is remembering the time in history. And that's just something I always bring up because I'm a history junkie in the first place. Kind of got me into coins when I was a child, paper route, putting books together with my grandfather, and then the rest is history there. But the history on these 2 years, just think of where we are today, right? Where would you be without your cell phone? I mean, beepers, we don't use them anymore. Television, wow, how cool. How big is your TV screen? If it's a small 50-inch, so the topics have really changed, right? In 1886, the Statue of Liberty was dedicated, which is the face of entering our country in New York Harbor. Coca-Cola was introduced by the pharmacist John Pemberton. The first gas car created by who? It wasn't Ford, it was done in Europe, Carl Benz. Then you go to the 1889, and this is where we were in history. 4 brand new states were added to the Union. North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and Washington State. Now we're at 42 states in 1889. At that point, we also had the Oklahoma Land Rush. Remember those old movies, right? Everybody lined up and just go and plant your stake. The company Coca-Cola is actually formed after the introduction by Pemberton. And our president was President Harrison, number 23. Right now we're on Trump, 47, right? So again, tonight, everybody, it's all about history, the big silver dollar, the best of the best in quality, and tonight it's the price. Guys, give me a 30-second clock, please. Look at the detail. I mean, these are beautiful coins. They will be coming encapsulated, as you see them, in a little presentation pouch for storage. Good question. I didn't bring that up yet. If you're visiting us via the web, push them through. Right now, the 89 is selling a little bit faster than the 86, but they're both down to the last roll or so. So right now, we're 2/3 through. Thank you all. The fast busy, it's only like 15 seconds. Don't worry about that either. Just hang in there with us because this is one of those, it's not too good to be true. It is. You're watching America's Value Channel. It's the Coin Show. This is what we do. And tonight, this is a fun one.